All right, let's talk about something every single one of us deals with, an emotion that has shaped human history and, let's be honest, dictates a lot of our future: fear. It's this ancient, primal force, but what if I told you that you could actually transform it from your biggest enemy into your most powerful ally?
It really is. I mean, think about it. Before we had language, before we dreamed of building things, before we even really loved, we were afraid. And for our ancestors, this emotion was absolutely essential. It's what kept them alive, right? Sharpening their senses, flooding their bodies with adrenaline when a predator was lurking. It was the ultimate survival tool.
But here's the crazy paradox we're all living in today. Our brains are still wired for that ancient world. The part of our brain that sounds the alarm, it reacts to a text from your boss with the exact same intensity it would to a tiger in the jungle. The threats have changed, they've gone from physical to psychological, but our biology hasn't caught up. And this is where that amazing survival instinct starts to trap us.
So, first things first, let's really get a grip on this emotion. We've got to see fear for what it was originally designed to be: not an enemy, but a protector. Its entire job was just to keep us safe.
And that's the whole point, really. This tool, which was once so incredibly helpful, has become a huge limitation in our modern world. I mean, we have fewer actual predators, but we have countless psychological triggers: fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of just uncertainty. So our protector, it can quickly become a prison, stopping us from taking the very risks that lead to a full, meaningful life.
Okay, so to really get a handle on fear, we have to pop the hood and see what's actually going on in our brains. Because if you want to overcome it, you first got to understand how it works. So let's geek out for a second on the neuroscience of it all.
Everybody, meet the amygdala. I want you to think of this tiny almond-shaped part of your brain as your own personal security guard. It's on duty 24/7, constantly scanning for danger, and the second it spots a potential threat, it smashes that alarm button.
And this is the most important part to understand. The amygdala does not think. It doesn't pause, it doesn't analyze, it doesn't weigh the pros and cons. It just reacts. The moment it perceives a threat, and that threat can be real or totally imagined, it kicks off an immediate physical chain reaction. Your heart starts pounding, your palms get sweaty. All of this happens before your logical mind even knows what's going on. And that chain reaction is what we all know as the fight, flight, or freeze response. Your body is instantly getting ready for survival. It's asking, do I fight this thing? Do I run away from it? Or do I just freeze and hope it goes away? It's a brilliant, ancient system that's literally hardwired into our DNA. So if the amygdala is the frantic alarm system, then the prefrontal cortex, that's the more evolved, rational part of our brain, is like the calm manager who can walk in and say, okay, everybody relax. It's just an email, not a saber-toothed tiger. This part of our brain can absolutely talk the amygdala down. The problem is, a lot of the time, our own habits get in the way. We don't even give the manager a chance to do its job. And that leads us right into the core issue for so many of us. This is how we accidentally train our own brains to make our fears stronger. We fall into what's called the avoidance trap.
It's a good question, right? If fear is just this temporary alarm, why does it seem to grow and take over our lives? Well, it's all because of a powerful feedback loop that we create for ourselves.
Okay, let's walk through this vicious cycle. Step 1. You run into something you're afraid of. Let's say it's public speaking. Step 2, you avoid it. You call in sick, you make an excuse. Step 3, you feel this instant wave of relief. Phew, dodged a bullet. But here's the dangerous part. Your brain just learned a very powerful lesson. Hey, avoidance equals safety. So the next time you face that situation, the fear is even stronger because your brain is screaming, remember what we did last time? It worked. Avoid it again. This quote just nails it. Every single time we run away from something we're scared of, we are feeding that fear. We're teaching our brain that the thing we fear is genuinely dangerous and that we're not strong enough to handle it. And slowly but surely, avoidance makes our world smaller and smaller. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now, what's the solution? Well, the good news is we can absolutely break this cycle. And it's not about becoming fearless. It's about becoming courageous. So let's open up a practical, actionable toolkit to do just that. This 5-step process is incredibly powerful. It starts with awareness, just noticing your fear without beating yourself up over it. Then comes acceptance, literally giving yourself permission to feel scared. Then the big one, exposure. taking small, safe, deliberate steps toward the thing you fear. This teaches your brain you can handle it. Then you use your breathing to calm your body's alarm system, and finally, reframing, where you change your entire relationship with fear.
And you have to burn this into your brain. The goal is not to get rid of fear. That's impossible. Think about any hero you've ever admired, anyone who's ever done something great. They all felt fear. They just didn't let fear sit in the driver's seat. Courage is feeling that terror and taking the next step anyway.
And that brings us to the final and I think most powerful idea. This is where we flip the script on fear completely. What if fear wasn't an enemy? What if it was actually a guide? Just think about that for a second. Most of us see fear as a giant brick wall, a stop sign telling us, nope, turn back now. But what if it's actually a compass? What if it's pointing you directly toward the things you need to do to grow? This idea is a total game changer. Your fears are basically a map to your values. So, if you're afraid of failing at a new project, it's because you really value success and accomplishment. If you're afraid of rejection, it's because you deeply value connection and belonging. Fear isn't random. It shows you exactly what matters to you.
So when you start following that compass, when you start moving toward your fears instead of running from them, you're not just building courage. You are walking directly toward a more meaningful life. You're stepping into the person you were always meant to become.
So I want to leave you with this question. Just imagine the life that exists on the other side of your fear. The opportunities, the relationships, the person you could be. The question isn't how do I get rid of fear? The real question is, who will you become when you finally stop letting it make your decisions for you?